It still continues, isn't it? Tonight's the season opener for the Sixers at 8 p.m. on the road against the New Orleans Pelicans. Whew, and just continues and continues and continues. So Ben Simmons finally returned to Sixers camp. I haven't made a video in a bit, and just FYI, while I'm still on that, throughout the NFL season, I'll be really doing a Sixers vid every couple of weeks, get my thoughts on what's been going on, what I like, what I don't like, during the couple weeks in between. Then once the NFL offseason hits, or once the Eagles season's over, I'll be making more Sixers vids. So like around January, getting closer to All-Star time and to late regular season playoffs, I'll be dropping more Sixers content. Those of you guys wondering what I'm doing with Sixers content this year, that's the plan. Back on subject. So Ben Simmons, after finally reporting to camp, apparently he was doing jogging. He had his cell phone in his pocket, which is a no-no, and he wasn't interacting with the team. So Doc Rivers was just like, you know what? I'm sending this dude home. Ben Simmons, you're being a distraction. Get out. But here's the thing. It's only a one-game suspension. It's a slap on the wrist for Ben Simmons. And I was watching the video from Undisputed with, Skip and Shannon on FS1. They talked about the suspension. I'm going to reiterate a point they brought up because I think this perfectly summarizes from Game 7 when he passed up the open dunk to where we're at now. Game 7, him passing up the opening dunk was the boiling point where this whole soap opera started. They were hoping it would blow over because, even as Skip said, Trae Young was at 5 for 23 in Game 7, so Ben's defense helped us stay in the game, but his offense was a contributing factor to us losing. Not going to say it's the only factor, but it was one of the main factors. So you have that right there. But they saw, okay, he can play good on defense, but if he can just get over his fear to shoot, it could still work out. So we're not going to get rid of him yet. Now, hopefully this can boil over by the time the summer's over, but the exact opposite happened. And that's exactly what's been going on. That's the perfect summary of what's happened with this Ben Simmons saga. But here we are now. Got the season opener. He's suspended for the opening. Got shakes out for this game. So Tyrese Maxey is going to get the start. Now, if all the hype about Tyrese, how he can be a star of the future and all that, if any of that's true, tonight's his chance to prove it. To prove that he's worth keeping long term. It's his chance to at least show if some of his potential can be lived up to. So we'll see if that happens. But even with the opening game tonight, instead of talking about the opening game, we're talking about Ben Simmons, who's not even going to be on the court tonight. That's how this is just going to be. This is like Terrell Owens versus the Philadelphia Eagles, but worse. That's what it is. It's exactly what the saga is. I mean, the longer Ben Simmons stays, it's just going to cause more conflict. And if you're expecting the Sixers to go through the Eastern Conference and get the number 1 seed again, I don't know what you're thinking. I mean, most of us are, if we're being realistic, we're telling ourselves, this team's not going to get the number 1 seed like they did last year. I mean, I can still see them making the playoffs with the roster they got as long as their guys stay healthy. You got most of our guys are back. Embiid's coming back full strength. You got Seth's back, Shake's back as long as he plays, You got Seth Curry's back, get Cork Moss is back, Tobias. Most of these guys are back. And you got Andre Drummond to replace Dwight Howard as that backup center. So most of our guys are back. So it's not really so we can definitely still make the playoffs with the team we have, but with all this drama going on, don't expect them to be on during the regular season the way they were last year with their win total. So don't expect number 1 seed. I'm definitely still expecting a playoff seed as long as this team stays healthy. But don't be surprised if they fall possibly somewhere between 4 and a 6. I mean, they could still get a 3 seed, but I don't see them getting the top seed. Not with all this drama going on. It's just it's going to bring the chemistry down this team to some extent this season. It's going to. The whole Ben Simmons saga is going to bring the Sixers chemistry down to some extent, at least during the regular season. I don't know how much that will. We still got the talent, but don't expect the number 1 seed. And don't expect this saga to blow over anytime soon. I mean, if it gets worst case scenario, the Sixers can't trade him, they might have to do what the Eagles did with Terrell Owens. Deactivate him from the roster just to keep him out of the locker room. And the Sixers might be forced to do that. At this point, I don't understand why. Well, I kind of do understand because they're kind of hoping it boils over. They're hoping they actually gets on the court. But at the same time, it makes the most sense. Seems like the best idea. Just put Ben Simmons, Just deactivate him so he's not in the locker room, because even when he showed up, he's still causing problems. What makes you think after just a 1-game suspension, Ben Simmons is going to come back and the soap opera is going to be over? I don't see anyone out there that's going to think that at all. No, matter of fact, I haven't heard one person out there. I have heard 0 people saying that this is going to blow over anytime soon. Because the common sense tells us it's not. It's just going to get worse, and the soap opera is going to continue until either Ben's deactivated or they finally find a trade partner for him. That's why I think they're going to take a drop in terms of their win-loss total from last season during the regular season. I still think they make the playoffs, but even with that being said, I'm still not looking forward to the season. I'm not looking forward to the drama, the rest of the soap opera and all that. I'm just, you know what, let's just get this over with, move on from Ben Simmons. That's how I feel about the Sixers right now. I know a lot of you guys feel that way. You guys want to comment, let me know what your expectations are for record, playoff seeding, how you feel about Ben Simmons, what they should do. Feel free to comment in the comment section. Let me know. I'll be glad to hear your thought or read your thoughts. And anyone watching, have a wonderful day and night. It's Nicky Steve signing off, and I'll see you next time.